Welcome back to episode 9. I am your host, Keith Cunningham, and this is
Travis Gearhart.
We are
Disenfranchised.
Well, we're back from the Super Bowl.
Celebrating like an arrogant Kirk.
Yeah, there you go. The Super Bowl was last weekend. The game itself, I thought was boring as hell. It was
gay.
I guess if you're a Seattle fan, great. Overall, I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that they didn't give the kicker the MVP award. I mean, honestly, he was the only one that had any fucking points until the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could have gave the defense of the Seahawks the award.
Yeah, that's harder to give it to a whole defense, though.
Well, you do it like, remember that movie Mean Girls? You just take the fucking MVP trophy or whatever, and you just break little pieces off of it. Here, you get a piece. You get a piece. Everybody gets a little piece.
How very liberal of you, Keith.
I know.
Everybody gets an award. I just hope the teams have fun.
And then they go, my God, give some of the trophy to the Patriots too.
The Patriots.
Yeah. That's right. All right, but I
was happy to see Sam Darnold got to kind of have his two middle fingers flying a moment, you know. Like, he was at the Jets, he was at the Panthers, but neither team really wanted him, didn't do shit for him. Did really well with the Vikings. The Vikings were willing to let him pass, so he goes in there first year with the Seahawks, comes out. I mean, you got to give it to the man, you know.
I'm glad that the Vikings moved from him, you know. When they picked up McCarthy or drafted McCarthy, I was like, I'm a Bears fan, so good luck with McCarthy.
Yeah. I thought McCarthy wasn't that good of a QB back when he was with Michigan.
No, I didn't think so either. And the way I looked at it is you just had proven talent, but they're like, oh no, it wasn't him. It was Justin Jefferson.
It was the system. It was the system. Well, that system doesn't look very good with J.J. McCarthy, quite frankly.
Yeah. But I don't even want to call it controversial because I really didn't care that much. No. You had Bad Bunny's halftime show. So at my house, you had Bad Bunny playing in the living room. And I came out here to the garage and I put on Kid Rock's, whatever the hell it was called.
Lip Sync USA.
God. Missed the first guy, Brantley Gilbert. Didn't see any of his. The girl came out and sang. She was all right. Lee Bryce. Yeah. Okay.
Kid Rock. I want to drink my beer. I want to drink my beer. Want to play with my dogs.
Yeah. I want to drink my beer. Play with my dog. Leave me alone. But the Kid Rock one I thought was terrible. First, he comes flying out of the floor at, 75 years old, popping out like he's goddamn Erica Kirk and dancing around. And then as he's singing,
are you all ready to grieve?
He's got to remember that he's lip singing. So the words are still playing as he's putting the mic down. Whoa. It's like, God damn. So his I thought was terrible, but whatever.
Yeah, you would think after all the years of, and I didn't see it. I just heard a lot of shit talked about it. Most, from you initially, and then I saw a couple other things. So I didn't watch it. I was over at my parents' house. None of us were super enthused about watching the Bad Bunny halftime show, but we all at my parents' house, we all kind of have not liked very many of the Super Bowl halftime shows over the years anyways. Yeah. So we were just ready to be as disappointed as we were anytime. And generally speaking, except for the thick Latinas, we were generally, I didn't understand any of it. I didn't care. I didn't lose any sleep over it. I was like, oh, hey, that's what's her name? Fucking.
What was that video? It was Charlie Kirk and that other guy, and he was asking Charlie Kirk about deporting Latinas. What was she? Not his homemaker. What do you call that? His maid.
Yeah. He said
my maid's illegal. If she's 9, she's fine. If she's 8, we can have an immigration debate. If she's a 6, she can kick bricks.
That's a funny, and then to be fair, he's not talking about her age. He's talking about her level of hotness.
Yeah, and he had several videos out there. What does he say? He'd stand around with the sign saying that you cannot deport big booty Latinas. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Big booty
I'm,
Latinas can stay.
listen, I'm with him. I'm with him. Listen, don't. That's a solid. I think that's something we can all vote to get behind. Literally, I didn't even mean to make that joke.
Ah.
But
But
the
anyways,
so
talking about that, the one thing that is driving me particularly nuts now is you have Andy Ogles from Tennessee, a representative from Tennessee, bringing it to the House floor, calling, Bad Bunny's performance pure smut. Now, I really don't give a shit. Why the fuck are you talking about it on the House floor when you have he's pure smut? No, I don't want to hear about the pedophile ring.
right.
I don't want to hear about the blackmail that's held on all of us. But, let's do something about Bad Bunny and his pure smut. It's like, get your fucking priorities straight. It's
The
ridiculous.
nice part about a lot of everybody kind of becoming keen to that sort of shit is that maybe 10 years ago we might have taken that bait. Maybe 10 years ago we might have been like, yeah, you know what, yeah, there is something, this is still important, this is important. Now there's
It's a
so many more,
diversion.
like, oh, that's cool, unredact the rest of the files and let's see which pedophiles need to be dragged in the street and fucking shot.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going with this. I did see a couple of dude, between that and then like the Pam Bondi, like so many retard Trump supporters are like, well, I'm just happy that she's yelling back at these guys. This is this is what we needed. And it's like, you hear yourself?
Mhm.
Are you reading what you're typing? Like the amount of non-important things going on when or being talked about and going on while literally the biggest thing since Watergate probably ever, probably the biggest corruption. Nothing is going to be the same after this.
I honestly, my opinion on it, Trump ran saying that release the files, release the files, release the files. Then he wins, and it's nope, they don't exist. I mean, they've already proven that he's in the files, but
Right, right.
I don't think he's in the files. I mean, who knows? I could be dead wrong. But if I had to guess, I doubt that he's in the files as a pedophile. I bet you,
Same,
I
same. I
bet
don't
you
think
he,
so either.
no, he probably, he probably looked at the files or had it all shown to him, and he probably said, "Holy shit! If I release this, it's going to be fucking mayhem in this country. If I release this, nobody's going to pay their taxes. We're going
Why
to
would
have
you?
exactly. Why would you?"
Oh my God. All of these tinfoil hat Alex Jones watching, all these guys are right about everything. Well, damn near everything. But
Well,
yeah.
the video that I seen today, and no, this is allegedly because you don't
Allegedly.
know what's true or not because there's so much fake shit out there. But they've been talking about the pedophilia and the pedophile rings that they have going on and the blackmail held over heads of corporations or different politicians' heads. But then the one I saw today, and I sent it to you, I was like, is this fucking real? Where they're delivering people to Epstein Island so they could be hunted? Are you fucking kidding me? That's like
It's like some movie shit, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, we're gonna do so Dion reached out to me on Facebook, well, commented on a Facebook post, and I had said something, and it was about Epstein, and I had said something along the lines of, "Hey, let's do another roundtable here soon." So actually, I think I might. Well, me and Keith were talking about it earlier today. I think we might try to grab up Tyler as well and do a 4-person panel, and just do an hour and a half, 2 hours of just Epstein stuff.
Yeah, I think a four-person panel would work out good. You'd have Libertarian, the independent, the Democrat, the Republican.
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
like calling myself an independent, though. I'm more of a radical. I'm turning to a radical.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
that's you call yourself whatever you want, my man. You
Another
call yourself.
another thing that I have seen, I don't even remember who the hell I was listening to, but they're talking about, oh, the Republican support for Trump is at an all-time high, and the Democrat support for the Democrats at an all-time high, but he's losing the independents. I'm so sick of hearing that bullshit. They've been saying that for so long. In order to win, you got to win the independents. I think the majority of people out there are independents.
Well, at this point now, I mean, statistically, Fox News just put out a thing that like 40, it's like something like 48% of people polled identified as with neither major political party.
Mhm.
I mean, that's almost half.
Yeah.
So you split the other half roughly down the middle, and you've got a lot of people that are just very disenfranchised.
Disenfranchised coming at you. All
So,
right. So
hey,
I don't appreciate Andy Ogle bringing that to the House floor. I think it's a waste of time. How
as
about Andy Ogle? How
most
about,
things that politicians do, yes, yes, yes,
yes.
yes.
How about you join the fight and help Massey out? But no, that would take a spine, and most of you are a bunch of spineless fucking cunts. So let's move
Oh, I
on.
think that might be the first C word that we've dropped on this show. I'm
Well,
here for it.
they're used to hearing cucks.
Cucks, yeah, that's true. That's true. Karens. Karens. Back in my day, we just called them a useless cunt. Let me tell you a story. So we were down in Nashville, and we were at the Coyote Ugly bar. And if you're not familiar with the Coyote Ugly, it's one of the Coyote Ugly bars. It's not the Coyote Ugly bar because that's in New York, if I'm not mistaken. And so it was the Nashville Coyote Ugly bar. And, of course, the one bartender's on the bar, and she's dancing, and she's like, "All right, girls, on the count of 3, everybody," because it's mostly women in there. I'm like the one kind of token boyfriend, and I'm sitting there and I'm sipping beer, and it was fine. It was whatever. And she's like, "All right, all the girls at the same time, I'm gonna count to 3, yell out your favorite cuss word." And she's like, 1, 2, 3. And everyone's like, "Fuck, shit, bitch." And I'm like, "Cunt." Like, cut the air like a knife. She actually winced. She was like, I slapped her. She's like, "Oh." And she looks around and she's like, "Okay." She goes, and Aaron looks at me. She's like, "Jesus Christ, Travis." I'm like, "What?" So she probably had flashbacks of her stepfather. But yeah. So so then she goes, "All right, well, let's try a different one. On the count of 3, yell out your favorite shot. 1, 2, 3." And I go, 45. And she's like, "Okay, somebody please tell their husband to stop yelling out."
Nice.
It made my night. But it was fun. That was a fun night, actually. We had a good time. We went to all the Nashville, Tennessee bars. If you ever get a chance to go to Nashville and go bouncing around, that's a good time.
Yeah, we did a lot of softball tournaments down there, and you always got to watch though, because between like each bar there was always a cut in of the building, and that's where
Mhm.
all the crackheads were hanging out, leaning up on the
Yeah,
walls, shitting on the sidewalks.
that's all right. I can't say nothing. We were around the back of the hotel trying to go, and we were a little tipsy. We literally both. She dropped trowel, and I stood there. We both pissed behind a dumpster at the same time.
Did you feel the fucking homeless guy put his hand on you? It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Here, I'll shake it for you.
All of a sudden, there's another stream of urine starts going next to mine. I got you, brother. No, but there was like a street vendor selling some street meat at like 3 a.m. And
Street meat.
yeah, listen, I was drunk, but I wasn't that drunk. And Erin bought some street meat, and she was up throwing up the next morning with food poisoning. I'm like, see, You don't eat that fucking rat.
Yeah, exactly.
Fricasseed rat.
He caught that rat when he was leaning up in the wall, shitting in the alley.
It was after the corn and the turd. Gotcha. Oh, shit. But
That makes me think of that movie with Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd, when they go underground.
it's so long since I've seen that movie. I couldn't tell you a single thing about that movie.
There's a rat burger. Remember they're making burgers down there on the grill.
I know I saw the movie. I literally couldn't tell you a single. I can see him in the Judge Dredd outfit, and that's it. I don't remember anything else about that movie, to be honest
Well,
with you.
Sandra Bullock is eating this burger, and he says to her, he goes, "Do you see any cows anywhere?" And she's like, "Oh no." He goes, "It's a rat burger." And then she asked the lady, "Oh, what is this?" "It's rat. It's rat."
That's her.
Yep. All right, so let's move on. We're going to talk about a little more about NFL. Redoing
Yeah,
the divisions, that was your idea. What are you
it's
thinking?
gotta happen, man. I mean, you've had too many times. In this case, you've got the Patriots. And the Patriots that had the easiest division in the league. They coasted into the playoffs, and then they just got their salad tossed in the Super Bowl. And yes, Seattle was good, but boy, the Patriots made Seattle look way better than what they needed to be. And obviously there was a few things that went wrong there. Like the Bills got robbed by some shitty calls. The Broncos honestly, the Broncos probably would have won the Super Bowl if their quarterback hadn't broken his ankle. That's just my opinion, but I don't. I think the divisions need to be redone. Well, they need to happen every so often. It's got to be a shakeup. The last time
Well,
they did it was 2002 when the Houston Texans joined. It's been 20 plus years. I think they need to redo the divisions at some point. I know they've done more games, and I know they've added some more teams to the what's the word I'm looking for? The wild card. They've added teams to the wild card, but it doesn't.
well, I think, in my opinion, the only way to really do it is I think you leave the divisions alone, leave them separated, 4 on each side. And I think that the group of teams that are in each division is okay.
I
But
think look at some divisions. All right, so let's look at the divisions one by one. All right, let's look at the NFC East. Okay, so we'll start with that because I know the NFC East. See, now you're
Eagles, Cowboys,
thinking of
Commanders, Giants.
yes. How in God's name are the Cowboys in the East? They are in Texas, my friend. How is that? How does that work? Some of those divisions are built like that. I mean, look at let's think of another one. What's the AFC West? What's the AFC West?
Uh,
S how many Florida teams
Broncos,
are
Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders. That one's okay. Here, I'll go through all the divisions. AFC East, Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, Jets. Now, Patriots, Bills, Jets makes sense. Dolphins, same
but not so
side.
much.
Yeah. AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns.
That's pretty close.
Pretty
I
close.
always thought that was a pretty close one.
AFC South, Jags, Texans, Colts, Titans.
Colts? You ever put the Colts in there and the Titans? I mean, that
Colts and Titans
it's a
aren't far
reach.
apart, but the other two are kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would take the Texans out and give them, Miami. Put the Texans with somebody out west.
Yeah. And then the AFC West, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders. That one's good. Let's go national. NFL. See, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. Well, I'll talk to that in a minute. Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. I don't think that's bad.
Obviously. I don't think that's bad, no, but that's also one of the original, groupings.
Yeah. Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, Saints. That's not, yeah, that ain't really bad either.
No, that's not bad.
Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, Cardinals. That one's so on the NFC side, the only one that is messed up is the NFC East. And I don't think you change that for the simple fact that the Cowboys Eagles is a huge rivalry game. It brings in a lot of money. And they play them twice. The Cowboys Giants, same situation, right?
Yeah.
Huge rivalry game. I would have never guessed that the Redskins were in that same division. I had no idea. I hate calling them
Always
the
call 'em
Commanders.
I will always call them the Redskins.
But,
Always.
I think
Honestly, I would have kept the Washington football team over the Commanders. At first, I was like, "Oh, Washington football team, not even keep a team name." But then when they had kinda like the classic kind of football stuff, I was like, "You know what? Okay,
yeah,
Washington football team," you know? Like, okay, it was actually growing on me, and then they changed it to this Commanders dog shit.
they're gonna have to change the name again. I'll think of something good.
Well,
But
what's the,
anyways,
that what
I
what's
think
that old joke that was, the Washington, Redskins had to change their name because it's offensive, so they changed it they took out the Washington.
exactly. They should change their name to the Beacons. How about that? We're the Beacon.
We're the Washington pedophiles.
But, I don't
Or the
think I think
Washington and then just a black bar.
I think you leave the actually change Washington's logo instead of the W, just make it a dude with a big fucking nose.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no
Oh, man.
idea. Hmm.
But, I
Oh,
think you leave the
the
divisions
Washington coin clippers.
leave the divisions alone and have a divisional champion, but in the playoffs, I think you do how many teams are in there now? 14? Is that what it is? Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or is it 12? I would
I don't know.
say, let me see, what 16. Well, you got 16 teams in NFC, 16 in AFC. How many teams do you want in the
And then you
playoffs?
do and then you got 4 I think it's 4 and 4, right? So I think it's 16.
Yep. So how many teams would you want in the playoffs?
I don't know. I don't think the number of teams are that.
Leave
I
it
think
at
I think
leave
who I think maybe who you go in. Like, maybe you don't do the top of the division. You still have the divisions, but you just pick the
you
top
do
teams.
the top 6 in the NFC and the top 6 in the AFC. That's what I think you do.
Yeah, I think that's a better way to do it.
And if you happen to hit a tie, like if say 6th place is tied, then I think you
Then you
go
go by
who's
leader of your
higher in their
division.
division who's higher in their
That's fair.
division, and then, if you do if it comes down to who's higher in the division and they're tied there, same spot, then you go, say win-loss in the
Points.
division or something. Yeah, points,
Yeah.
break it down. But I think that'd be more competitive. So the worst team in the playoffs was and I don't wanna say their worst team, but their record-wise was 8 and 9, the Panthers. Now, NFC North, you had the Bears in the playoffs, you had the Packers in the playoffs. The Vikings and Lions were both 9 and 8. They both had better records than the Panthers.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, NFC West is a crazy division. You had the Seahawks 14 and 3, the Rams 12 and 5, and the 49ers 12 and 5.
Yeah.
And
That was a crazy division this year.
and didn't the Cardinals just pick up a great, or what's a future good coach, I think? I think
Yep.
they did.
Yep.
That's gonna be a tough division. It's interesting. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think, leave the divisions alone, have division champions, and, top 6 on
And
NFC.
you can still get something out of, find some other thing, like, if you're the head of your division, well, then you're the
Yeah,
right? Like, there's other things that you can make those count towards.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I just again, and it's not every year, but there's so many years that you watch the Super Bowl and you're just like, "Oh, cool. Sweet. This is the shit show."
It seems like wild card weekend is usually every game is awesome, and then usually then from there, the rounds get worse. Like, the next round's usually pretty
Yeah.
good, but when you get to the Super Bowl, it's a big mismatch usually.
It feels like at the beginning, everything's hot and heavy, and then as it goes, it's almost like teams play not to lose. It's not that they're playing to win. They try
Yeah,
to, like, really just, like, play defense, and it's like, I don't know, just then you get something like the Super Bowl we got, and I don't know.
yeah. And you know what they say, I mean, yeah, they're right, defense wins championships, but defense does not bring in the dollars.
It's not even that. Like, I don't mind watching a good defensive battle. I really don't. It's just that it wasn't even that this was a good defensive battle. It was that the two the two offenses just weren't that exciting. Like they weren't able to even to do shit. I mean, I knew the Seahawks were going to lose as they were looking at the locker room. That kid for the Patriots looked nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I know I called it. Well, first of all, let's give the who said that the Seahawks were going to win?
You did, but I was picking the Patriots just because I was picking the underdog.
I
I was
know, I know.
going
I'm just
Patriots because everybody and their fucking brother was saying the Seahawks, and I'm like, ugh.
well, sometimes we're just geniuses, but but I was watching the
Sometimes you're geniuses, and sometimes players on the Patriots bet money against their own team, and they play like shit.
that does
But
happen. That does
that's
happen.
allegedly, though. You can't prove that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good to see Stefan Diggs walk away. And then his girlfriend broke up with him. You see that? Cardi
Because he's
B
a
broke up with
loser.
him. He's
She
a
probably
loser because he chokes.
yeah, he choked. All right, well,
Uh,
we're going to stick with football, but let's get the hell away from divisions.
yes.
How about Portage?
How about
Hallis
Portage?
Harbor. You
How
want to play
about
that
them
video?
Howard Harbors? So here, we got a little video here to watch. If you haven't seen it, we're gonna show it to you right now.
See, now that I
All
need a
right.
little drum set.
All right, I'm gonna show you this little video right here.
You, the Chicago Bears, have an opportunity to call an audible. For years, you've been searching for an execution-ready site with the space to build not just a stadium, but the elevated experiences your team and your fans deserve, designed to your exact specifications, expanding Bears fandom on your terms. A venue designed to rival the most advanced, immersive environments in the world, built to
Real quick, what's the place that everybody always talks shit about that's like right outside of Portage? Um, I can't think of it. I want to say Burns Harbor, but that's not right.
Well, you got Burns Harbor, Ogden Dunes, Pines.
No, yeah, but they're always like it's right outside of Portage. It's right between Portage and Valpo. Everyone's always it's like the ghetto. They call it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and play it. I'll figure it out.
Well, I was gonna say they so the thing might be for Portage, but they went over there to get the narrator.
South
I'm
Haven.
kidding. South Haven, yeah, it's the Portage House, but they went to South Haven.
I got a fucking hilarious story before you start this. There's this guy I knew for years, lived in South Haven, and he got sued. Did you know that they have an HOA? He got
Really?
sued for having too many cars in his yard or whatever you want to call it. Too many. He ran basically a junkyard out of his yard, and he told me that they were suing him for the HOA was suing him, and I was like, an HOA? I had no clue that like one step above a
South
trailer
Haven?
park has an HOA. I had no idea that he lived in such a fancy neighborhood.
Listen, you don't have an HOA. That's just your ankle bracelet. You're not allowed to go off your property.
All right,
It's
let's play
called
it.
probation. All right. This is a nice ass video, though. I'll tell you that.
these moments of
It is.
sport and entertainment. And
Hmm.
over 300 acres to activate. This will be an entire city, purpose-built as an immersive Bears destination where sport, culture, and entertainment converge every day of the year. Welcome to Hollis Harbor, right here on the Chicagoland shoreline, a fully privately financed site, zero taxpayer burden, zero debt on the team, zero compromise.
I don't know if I believe that. just, I mean, I'd have to see the whole deal, but boy, I feel like that's a real hard slog to have zero taxpayer burden. Real hard to believe that.
Our offer to the
What's that?
Nothing.
I thought you said something.
Bears is to use this rent-free. Set minutes from major highways, a dedicated rail stop, and the shoreline itself, designed for arrival, access, and safety. The capital is ready. The land is available now. Shovels can be in the ground as soon as June 2026. The only variable left is the decision to move forward. It's a destination with its own identity, its own gravity, and a future worthy of the Bears' legacy. And when you're ready to act, there's nothing standing in the way. Hollis Harbor, your destination awaits.
All right,
I gotta say, man, I like that.
I do too.
I like that.
Setting the financial portion of it aside, because that's zero tax burden or any of that. I don't know,
I don't
but
I don't know. Maybe. Well, we have already heard from a couple of people that know Austin Bonita, and they have actually recommended we reach out to him and have him on the show. So I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm not gonna Facebook message him because I did that already once and he never got back. So I think I'm gonna message him through like the mayor's office, like call and try to get an appointment. If we can get him on, I'd like to. I think it'd be cool as hell. So
I'd like to too. I think that video is awesome. I think Hollis Harbor is a great name, and I'm thinking like outside of the Bears games, summertime. Okay, summertime when you got like say a summer concert going on or whatever. I think it would be so cool to see boats parked out there. I don't even care if you come in from Chicago, but you got like Hammond
I
Marina.
do. Stay the fuck home. No, second.
You got like Hammond Marina, East Chicago Marina. Seeing those boats come over here because they're always going to Chicago. I think that'd be cool. I think it would be really cool. Then you got
it's really cool. Well, we have another one. We have the Hammond. So there was a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a whining that happened from the mayor of Hammond. So I'm going to share my screen again. So as you can see this article, the Times of Northwest Indiana, I'm not going to read it because you have to like pay money because the Times Online, likes to do that. You can see I did a haha reaction. Thomas McDermott Jr. contends Hammond is the one and only location where the Chicago Bears are interested in locating a new stadium in Northwest Indiana. Okay, whatever you say. Listen, Hammond's a fucking shithole. Like, let's just call it what it is.
the area that Hammond was proposing along Calumet Ave and 129th, right around Wolf Lake, or right there on Wolf Lake. There's land there. I don't necessarily know if it's vacant.
Well, these two. So why the Hammond Indiana Stadium site is great for the Bears on ESPN Chicago. Jerko and J Hood. I don't really know. I don't watch enough ESPN to know who these people are. I feel like this is kind of satire, but this was their little video that they did on.
Hammond site is the perfect site for the.
Can you turn it up?
You can see it in the distance. I can see it. It's the Sears Tower.
It's just kind of quiet.
A lot of things to do besides Bears football. There's activities and everything else here. Tons of activities. You've got the golf course, Lost Marshes right across the road. Fantastic fishing. At Wolf Lake, my family fished here all the time. Same results though. No fish. Yeah, air quality. Take a look at it.
Pause it.
Air quality is still
Oh
perfect
yeah, that's
out there.
satire. Yeah.
Look at that. You know what that is? Industry. That's great, isn't it? This Hammond site is the perfect site for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that was their little video that they did.
I would say that's satire because who knows? But that area, you'd have the God, what is that place called? Oh, the place at Wolf Lake where all the bands and shit go.
The Festival of the Lakes and all that.
Yeah, you'd have to tear that down. to make
You'd
room.
almost have to, yeah,
I
and
think
I've
you'd
been
have
there,
to.
dude. The parking over there was already so I went there with my buddy Kevin to go see, Lil Wayne, um, and it was packed. It was a packed frickin' place, like, it was not like, it was a good show, it was a good time, Aaron went, we were a little fucked up,
No, I
it
think
was
it's
a
a
good
good
show, but Jesus Christ.
I think that's a decent venue for concerts, and I just even tearing that down, I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't see enough land there to, build a stadium, especially the size stadium that the Bears want. And then the smells, man. You have a fertilizer plant, a, soap factory, a corn mill, the refinery, and then just after the refinery, you got 2 steel mills, 3 if you technically talk about the tin mill for US Steel, but I don't think it's operational right now. That place
Yeah.
smells like shit.
Yep. Yep.
I
I
think
don't
Portage is and there's no, well, unless they tap into Wolf Lake and run it between there. I think the Portage location is so much better. You got the train station that runs through it, which, mind you, that train already goes to Soldier Field
Right. It
because I
does.
rode it
You're
to
right,
Soldier
you're right.
Field. Then to have boat access, well, at Soldier Field now, you have boat access.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then you have 8094, or is it 8090? Yeah, it's still 8094 over there. And you have the toll road.
Yeah.
The access to Portage is so much easier, in my opinion. Yeah, and I don't want to hear this. Oh well, Hammond's closer to Chicago. The Chicago people aren't going to travel to Portage.
Marginal.
My ass, my fucking ass. I live a lot further than, Portage to Chicago, and I was traveling to Chicago for Bears games, so I don't listen to any of that shit.
And listen, I think after seeing that offer, I was like, "Oh, man, Mayor Portage really went into it." Be honest with you, I still don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's going to Arlington Heights anyways. I think this is all just kind of not a waste of time because it's fine. Like, I'm not a I was a little bit, like, kinda rolled my eyes at first. I I can see a little bit of the vision with Portage. I'm willing to admit when I might have been a little wrong. Well, it doesn't happen often, but, whatever.
Yeah, but at the same
But
time,
I still don't think it's gonna happen.
we have done one of them. We did so much shit with the town when we were on the council that I've forgotten more than I remember. But all them studies that we've done, them economic studies, like to make that video, how
Are you
much do you
talking
think
about what was it they called it? The Ensign,
the
the
Don Mahal?
the Don Mahal?
Yeah, yeah. If I remember correctly, you were on the council when they sold. I can't remember. So this ain't going to be verbatim. When they sold the rights to the water tower, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't remember if that was 600,000 or 800,000, but it was somewhere in that area. Correct? I
Yes.
think
Yes.
something like
Yep.
that. And
Somewhere in that ballpark.
And then after that, you had to resign because you moved to Wisconsin, and I took over. And that money where'd that money go? Where'd it go? And
You know
years
where it was
later,
supposed to go when the reason I voted on it and voted yes for it was because it was supposed to fill in a bunch of holes and make it so we didn't have to raise rates on water is when I voted yes on it. And that was what was promised to me by all those motherfuckers. So
and
it
who
was interesting
wanted,
when I left that then they took it and spent all that money to do the to not even do it, but to do a study. What a
if
just light it on fire.
no, it
God,
wasn't, it was the study, and it was the drawings, the blueprints to build the Don Mahal, which never happened.
I'm saying the study.
It's
They
amazing.
just
But
anyway,
you know how much that stuff costs, that there's thousands of dollars in that video, and not just like 1 or 2 thousands, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars in that
it would
video.
not surprise me. It might
Yeah.
be a little less now because there is better technology. You know what I mean? They might be able to, but you're probably right. There's tens
There's
of thousands
better
at least.
there's better
At least.
technology, but there's also what, like a 9% inflation rate?
That's
What's the
true.
inflation at? So I'd I'd be willing to bet that that was over 100 grand. to make that video?
Well, we should ask him. He won't want to answer it, which I wouldn't blame him.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to answer it. I mean, he should, because it's public knowledge anyways. I mean, I should be able to go on their website and pull up their minutes and find it anyways.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I just don't feel like it right now. Sorry,
no,
folks.
me neither.
Well,
we got too much to talk about.
But that is a lot of money to dump into plans for it just to be like, hey, it's a joke. I think if I was the Bears, I would look at that and say, oh, no tax burden, no rent. And I watched the interview with Bonta, and he said something about, and again, not word for word, when the Bears are playing, so selling, Bears tickets, that money was going to go to the Bears. But then, like, when the Bears are off schedule and they're doing concerts and things like that that money would help pay the bond. Like, well, I'd imagine they're going to have a lot of concerts then.
I mean, they already are in that little field thing they got now. I mean, I went and saw Alien Ant Farm and the Ataris.
What is that venue right there?
I don't know. I forget the name of it.
It's right in that same area, though,
or something. They call it like I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Hold on.
Yeah. So, anyways, Hollis Harbor, I think, is a excellent name. I think that's a great name.
I do like it.
I don't see a reason. I mean, of course, Chicagoans are going to be pissed, but oh well. If I was the Bears, I'd be jumping all over that, and I would have that contract in hand as long as it's already approved by the council and the mayor. I'd be going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and I'd be getting back to it as soon as possible. I've seen something what the Chicago mayor was pissed off about. They were pissed about that offer. McDermott was pissed about that offer. Pritzker was mad about it. If they're all mad about it, Portage must be doing something right.
Yep.
And another thing, if I was the Bears, I'd be like, holy shit, I can sign this contract. I could have a shovel in the ground within months. And if they wanted, they could build another venue in Arlington Heights and just collect rent off of it. Put another concert venue or a casino or whatever. Oh, a casino, make a fortune out there.
Or they could use the Arlington Heights as their training facility.
Well, they use Hollis Hall for that now. I don't know. I don't want to say that because I'd want their training facility in Portage.
I'm just saying, if they already have the land, because don't they already have the deed for it? Didn't they already purchase the land?
I think so.
But I'm not gonna lie. I still think that it's ultimately gonna go to Arlington Heights. I just do.
So,
but it is fun to dream.
I'm still for them becoming the Dinwiddie Bears and being at 65-2. I mean,
we got lots of space.
You think Portage has 300 acres? Well, there's a lot more there. It blows.
They can all go down to the what's the saloon down there now?
DW's Junction.
DW's Junction.
They do not serve.
Yeah, it's the Bears.
There is no underage drinking there.
None.
I promise.
Excuse me. My name's Caleb Williams. I'm trying to get in. My word, a Negro.
All right, what do you want to move to now?
Well, I think we go to the Olympics, and what's been going on in the Olympics has been a little bit.
There's only one story that has all the ladies up in arms. Penisgate.
Penisgate.
Apparently, some Olympic, what are they? What are they even called? Long jump skiers
ski
or
jumpers.
Olympic ski jumpers. They've been injecting their little penises with hyaluronic acid, which makes their member much larger, and in turn makes them makes the whatever suit they wear, because it looked like a damn flying squirrel.
It alters their suit measurements.
Measurements.
Ski jumpsuits are precisely tailored to jumpers' bodies, so this reportedly gains a boost in jumps. So the allegations were first reported by a German media outlet, and has since been dubbed Penisgate.
Penisgate. And also the numbers of the female viewers of the long jumpers or ski jumpers has gone up. And also in the gay males, they are too watching them.
Oh shit. How does this play? So reading this, let's start with the crotch. According to rules issued by the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, the body that regulates ski jumping, crotch height measurements for an athlete's suit are taken by laser. So in theory, if an athlete's crotch is temporarily a little larger, they would get a slightly roomier suit than they might otherwise. The extra fabric might be enough to minimally lengthen their jumps by providing a little more lift in the air, much like the patagium of a flying squirrel, and in turn, more distance. In a sport that's often decided by a matter of centimeters, and any additional hang time can be difference between gold and silver.
That all goes together great.
It does.
That's pretty
By
sad
a matter of
when you're measured.
centimeters.
That's pretty sad when you're measured in centimeters.
Hey, listen, a centimeter or two can count. See? Clearly. Centimeters count.
I had a thought. Travis, in your old podcast called Matters of Opinion, you were waterboarded. You tried out having your wife and now your ex-wife waterboard you. She'd probably want to waterboard you again. But I'm thinking
I wouldn't let her do it now.
Since you were willing to try out waterboarding.
No.
Why don't we try out some hyaluronic acid in the spirit of Valentine's Day? Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Just take some hyaluronic acid into the head of the little guy and make your woman happy.
I don't think I have enough space in there. I don't think I can give up those extra centimeters. I honestly, no. The answer is no. I'm not going to shoot high acid into my penis. I do, however, have my old waterboarding video pulled up. God,
well, let's go. Let's go to the waterboarding video. Let's see that. Now this is from 2009.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Look at that youngin'. Oh goodness. Look at him. Look at how bare my arms are right here. So few tattoos. So we jumped a little bit ahead, so all right.
Well, that's perfect. There you go.
You got your volume up on there?
I do. Can you hear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that right?
There's Sandy. She'd drown him now.
Okay, before you begin, let me just warn you, Travis, just so you know. Okay, if you need us to stop, if you feel unbearable stress, your safe words are red and stop. Red, okay? Stop. Red and stop, okay? You can also let go of either one of the two rods in your hand, and that'll also stop.
I feel like there were too many safe words for this.
I'm going to suck
Yeah,
a lot,
there were.
are you?
I
just going to suck. I'm prepared. Okay.
This goes on like that?
Actually, no, just one fold. There you go.
Okay. Over his whole face?
Over his whole face.
Okay. Fine. Just a little.
Make sure you aim like right towards here too. So.
Is that good?
A little bit more.
A little more then. Yeah. And up here?
No, a little lower, like here.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Look at the neighbor's dog. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Good. That's probably 15 seconds. So
that was an experience. Now, to be fair, I didn't puss out like Mancow Mueller and be like, I'm mentally scarred the rest of my life. Now, I do look back at it now and realize that none of the torture memo shit should have ever happened. But, it's to me, it was all of the, more of the fact that they were killing people by tying them up for hours at a time. My kind of point with the waterboarding video back then was that it sucked, but it wasn't.
And if you want to hear more about the torture, you're gonna have to listen to John Kiriakou.
Without a doubt. And he gives a lot more stuff about it too, like about how, well, the reason that like he goes through all of the all of the legality stuff that, in 2009 I was in my early 20s and I was like, oh, fuck all that shit, y'all. Now it's 2026 and I'm older and I realize that there are certain things that are put in place for a reason and blah 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 blah. So
yeah,
regardless,
now instead of talking about getting waterboarded, you're talking about going to get a syringe from TSC and filling up the junk with some hyaluronic acid.
yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Not doing that. Not happening. Erin's just going to have to be okay
Erin.
with me.
I tried.
Yeah, I think she's sleeping. She wasn't feeling well. So, yeah. So
Penisgate, one of the most exciting things that are taking place right now in the Winter Olympics. I think that's
other than that one chick breaking her leg, that skier chick, there wasn't much else with the Olympics that's been super crazy important. I tried watching the Olympics the other night and we were watching. I'm like, you know what? Let's watch it. Let's watch the Olympics. We got into it about 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, breaking news. They broke into the Olympics to talk about that one chick's mom that got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And and it wasn't just that they talked about it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it's national news. Like it's fine. But they didn't even really have any new info. They're like, no. we've got the video from a Ring camera. And then they just kept showing the goddamn thing. And they kept asking like the news reporters, and they're like, do you have any other new information? Well, sir, actually, no, this is just about it. But they just kept showing it and kept talking about it. And like literally 30 minutes later, I was like, I turned it. And Erin's like, so they're just going to show that all night instead of the Olympics? I'm like, apparently. So I'm like, this is why I don't watch regular TV. This is why I don't watch the news. It's all bullshit.
I will say though, I've watched some curling. I think the man-woman curling is interesting. I still have not figured out how the fuck they score. Like how they score it. I have no idea. I watch for a little bit, then I get bored and change it. But I'm not a big hockey guy. I don't watch hockey on TV. It's almost I hear it's really good live. If you go to a game,
yeah.
I hear I've never been to one because I've never been to
I've been to a couple of Blackhawks games, and it's way better live. It's like baseball. I can't watch baseball on TV. If it's on while I'm at the bar, I'll kind of half-ass watch it, especially because I do so much traveling for work that at night when I'm like going and I got nothing else better to do, I'll put on a baseball game just for background noise, like just to watch some sort of sports. But so I put hockey kind of in the same category. I like going to baseball games. I like going to hockey games. I can't watch them on TV.
Well, this is interesting though, because I was watching the Team USA, the female hockey team. I could watch it the whole time, and nothing against females. It was slower paced, and it's like you could see the puck. When the guys were on, you're like, sure goes the puck, didn't see shit, shoom, didn't see it again. But you could actually pay attention to it. It was actually it was pretty impressive. I liked it.
You just like watching all those butch. You're like, ooh yeah, look at all these.
Shit, they were doing like puck tricks. It was like watching the Mighty Ducks again. Remember, it's knuckle puck time.
That was a good ass. Those were good ass movies, man. Well, you know what? I was talking about the other night. Fuck, who was I talking to about with this? And whoever it was, I think they were younger. And I brought up Cool Runnings, and I was like, dude, Cool Runnings was the best because I go, eins, fein, drei, Cool Runnings, and they go, what the fuck is that? Like it was like some friends of ours that I think were a little bit younger, and I'm like, you don't know, like, and they're like, well, they're a Jamaican bobsled team. And he goes, why are you talking German then? I'm like, because that's where they learned to do it from, is from the German team. I was like, you got to watch the thing. So you got these Jamaicans that are in doing the bobsledding, being coached by a white American doing a German. And they're like, that makes no sense. And I go, it's because you haven't seen the movie. But that was a good fucking flick. That had to do with,
There's a friend of
had
mine.
to do with, there's
a friend of mine. He's got a terrible comb over. We call him the Big Earn. Every time we see him, it's a Big Earn. And I said that to him the other day, and another guy's like, "What do you mean the Big Earn?" I go, "Oh, he takes his hat off. He's got a bad comb over. Like it is bad." And he's a young guy, and he's like, "Oh, I can't get rid of it yet." This guy goes, "Well, I don't understand. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by the Big Earn?" I'm like, "Oh, he takes his hat off. His hair's like," he goes, "Okay, why is it the Big Earn?" I go, "It's Ernie McCracken." "Okay, who's Ernie McCracken?" I'm like, "Oh my God, have you ever seen Kingpin?" They're like, "Nope, never even heard of it." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm old."
We are getting old, man. Well, that's why I said, like, I was going to shave this down. And then when I was at the Super Bowl last weekend, Max was like, hey, man, he goes, I like what you got going on. He goes, you've been growing your shit out. And I'm like, I haven't been. I just didn't shave when I was in California, and I was in California for 3 weeks, came back to South Carolina, and I just haven't gotten around. Like, I've trimmed a little bit up, but I haven't gotten around to like shaving. But you can see, man, like all the gray now.
Everybody's going to learn your secret now that you're a Pennsylvania Dutch and you're like a Mennonite.
Hold on. So anyways, we were
Yeah, hey there.
so anyways there, we were
Yeah, you're going to have to shave the stash off.
Yeah, I needed to.
What's the rules in
Well, because
what's the
the
rules
stash is a
in the
different
old world?
color. In the old world, you keep the flavor saver.
Isn't it you're not allowed to grow your beard until you're married or something like that?
Oh fuck. I would have never been able to get divorced. That would have never worked out. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, I'm gonna wear this the rest of the show. Anyways, we had one more piece.
What's that?
Well, we're at an hour. We did an hour of just sports, which some people will say that they're happier about that.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of politics in there, I guess.
One more thing that I seen. It was a Boston news channel. I can't remember what I seen on, but they were talking about Kurt Cobain, and his death was labeled a homicide by independent investigators, and the Seattle police are standing by their findings, and they are not going to reinvestigate it. It is done.
Which is interesting, man. Like, why wouldn't you? Right? Like, to me, that is such hubris. I mean, that's just hubris, you know? Like, here's what forensic researchers found that makes them question Kurt Cobain's suicide. La-da-da-dee. Toxicology tests detected a high level of heroin in his system. So to give you guys some background, I actually was a huge Kurt Cobain, huge like Nirvana fan. And when I was in health class, I actually had to do a report where we had to try to convince me and Ryan Howe. We're on opposite sides of this, and we had to try to convince our class that one way or another, for whatever topic, right? We chose Kurt Cobain committing suicide versus being murdered. I said he was murdered, and I put together a whole speech, a whole document, and the class voted unanimously with me. So this adds, and funny enough, Ryan Howe was on. He became like a professional wrestler. He actually was another Hebron kid that did some shit.
Yeah, he was on WWE Tough Enough.
Yep, because he was the one that was crying about missing his girlfriend.
Yeah, I think he wrestled on. It was on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there's not as much in this article as I thought there was, but yeah, there was a bunch of different shit about it. Basically saying like he had enough heroin in his system to kill him 10 times over. There's no way. There was a bunch of other stuff, if I remember right, about like the way the door was barricaded didn't make sense. Just there was a like a half dozen.
See, I read about them labeling it a homicide and the police not wanting to reinvestigate. I did watch a documentary about it a while back, and it was something about him sitting in the chair holding the shotgun and squeezing the trigger with his toe, but there was no damage to his toe, if I remember correctly. And
Yeah,
whether it was a 12, 20, or a 410, they all have recoil. And I think recoil on a toe, you definitely notice it. I think it'd break your toe.
That little piggy would have went to the market.
Yep. It would have. It would have went wee, wee, wee.
It would have went, Jesus Christ.
Man.
Oh, God.
That's really all I got to say about Kurt Cobain. We're at an hour and 6. I did want to remind everybody that thanks to Travis, we are now on Rumble. We've been added to Rumble, so we're on Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Apple, and now Rumble.
And it's the whole kit and caboodle on Rumble. I didn't just start putting it on there. I went into the entire backlog. Big pain in the ass. But it was fine. We got it on there. We got some good interviews coming up too. We already recorded 2 interviews this week. We got Mike McDowell, the ghost hunter. We did an awesome interview with him earlier this week. That comes out Wednesday. We also did an interview.
That is another good one with McDowell. Really good.
Yes. And then we already did our next Wednesday's one with, what was his name? The cornhole guy. He's like the best cornholer. What's that?
Mark. His name was Mark Richards.
Mark Richards.
He is the creme de la creme of cornhole. You guys are gonna have to look him up. Now, Travis messaged me and said, "Hey, we could talk to the cornholer. We got like the number 1 cornholer in the world right here in the region." I'm thinking, all right, Travis, you're full of shit. But then he was
thinking it was just a big joke. He was gonna open up a text message and be spreading my cheeks. Here's your cornholer, Keith.
Yeah, but then you look him up and you're like, holy crap, this guy is crazy good. And and
we had a good interview, man. It was cool. We talked about sports. We're gonna have him back on again when it starts getting close to all the March Madness shit. I think that's gonna be a cool. Yeah.
And sports wise, I wasn't thinking of it, but with football's winding down, they're already advertising for the combine end of this month in Indianapolis.
Jesus. They're gonna try to make football the same way they do all the damn sports.
I don't know if you consider it a sport, a motorsport, but NASCAR, the Truck Series race started today, and Sunday is Daytona.
Well, aren't we going to be sponsoring on a vehicle?
We might be.
There might be some racing DP in the future. We
might have to bring him on for an interview, maybe.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. Shit, man. Just call us Al Qaeda because we're blowing up.
Yep. And I have to give a shout out to one of our number 1 fans, Hunter. He watches every show from front to back. He's my nephew. He's a good little kid. He's a nice guy.
Good.
He does have a new girlfriend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Speaking of front to back, joking, kidding. Hey, he's a good kid.
He's still young. But yeah, he watches our show. Well, one of our last shows we did, when I said, "Hey, we're a thing now," because he mentioned that we had to get to 10. If you most podcasts don't make it to 10. This is episode 9, but we're on what, 5 interviews, something like that.
Yeah.
And we got more in the tank lined up that
I could see it. I could see us not even doing the 9.5 or whatever down the road and just calling it something different and having it like Disenfranchised Podcast and Friends. I don't know, something. We'd have to talk about it and figure it out, but I could see that happening down the road.
Yeah, honestly, the episode numbers is starting to get kind of cumbersome. Turn it into a pain in the ass. But, we'll see.
You gotta have some sort of identity.
Something else.
Unless we just change the numbers and just start going by the dates. Disenfranchised Podcast, 213.
And I don't know if you people have noticed, but some of our disenfranchised pictures that we put up there with the podcast, the last one had the Super Bowl logo. This will probably have something to do with Valentine's Day. Maybe it'll have an
today's Friday the 13th. I was gonna put Friday the 13th shit on it.
Why don't you do Friday the 13th on one side and see if you can intermix Friday the
or have like Jason Voorhees holding a fucking vase of flowers.
There you go. That'll work. But make him have a very large penis.
Yeah.
For Penisgate, we gotta stick with the issues.
I mean, I just assume that Jason Voorhees has a very large penis anyways, because it's all waterlogged, Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, follow us on Rumble, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, we're on TikTok too. I completely forgot about TikTok. We're on everything but X. Hell, we might make a fucking OnlyFans. Who knows?
Ooh. We're gonna do a reverse OnlyFans though, where if we send you naked pictures until you pay us to stop.
There you go.
The reverse OnlyFans. So it's only pictures of our engorged with acid penises.
Yeah, and we're wearing a fucking squirrel suit. Look like a fucking flying
I'm gonna
squirrel.
ask ChatGPT to give me a flying squirrel with a giant dick.
Holding a gold medal.
Yeah, biting it. Oh, man.
All right, well, I think that's a wrap. That's a show. I am your host, Keith Cunningham. This is
Travis Gerard.
And we are
Disenfranchised.